Megan, 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 Megan. Megan Thee Stallion has been accused by a former cameraman of hers of a toxic environment and for allegedly submitting him to witness her have sex with another woman in an SUV in Ibiza. So this claim it has been brought up by a gentleman named a male, I don't know what he is, by Emilio Garcia. So he looks like he's probably brown skinned, going after the black female. But Megan's lawyers are not having it. She's like, he's like, I think his name is Alex Spiro, and they're just totally dismissing all the allegations, everything that this person has been saying. I have a few questions, things that just pop into my head. I'm stupid like that. I get all these questions. Is Tory Lanez pulling strings from the inside, from the inside of the jail cell? Is he trying to get Megan in trouble while he's behind bars? I don't know. He could have had some kind of phone call with Mr. Garcia, and they could have said, you know what, man, we're gonna bring her down some way. She gonna have to pay up. It's been, oh my God, it's a few things. Here's the list of various damages. It include financial losses amounting to over 6 figures in unpaid wages, employment benefits, medical expenses, injuries, emotional distress, and other related costs. And that is just a laundry list. Like, that's what they do, though. That's what you're supposed to do in law and legal proceedings. You get in with as many counts as you possibly can. You try to find as many different ways to display whatever happened to you, whatever things were happening against you, and you try to make it stick. At least one or two stick. I can see Megan, settling out of court on this one. I don't think she's going to take it to try, in front of a judge and a trial and all that stuff, and in front of a jury. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's just going to pay her way. It's really sad. Her career is like already got a dark cloud over it. Not on her fault, but because of Tory Lanez. She's just trying to make it in the business. She's one of the hottest, quote unquote, no pun intended, rappers in the game. The female wave she's part of with Lotto and Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, the City Girls, Sexy Red, just to name a few. She's part of that, that ideal of female rappers. So I just need to know. I just would like to know what this Garcia character is like. He seems a little, LGBTQ. How he reacted, saying like he was almost disgusted by the sexual alleged. It's not even like it's true, but the alleged sexual entanglement, I guess, in sexual actions of Miss Megan Thee Stallion. I could see, keeping quiet, not even looking, not even being a simp, and like eyes open and wondering if he can jump in. Just sit there with your camera. Just know that that's what's going on. Keep it moving. Check through your footage. Check through your various work that you did while they're doing their thing. Allegedly, all this is all alleged. This is not even proven or not even reality. And so Megan Thee Stallion is definitely going to have to. She's probably going to have to pay up. I'm sure she's going to have to pay something. She may have to pay something because it's going to be settled out of court. She'll probably give him, $2 or $3 million, if that, maybe 600,000. I don't know how much she's going to give him, but not much. It's not going to be, she's got more money than that, and she can definitely. She's doing Planet Fitness commercials, for God's sake. Come on now, she's getting that Planet Fitness money. Are you kidding me? So for Garcia to be so adamant about his accusations, it just seems to me, just me, that Tory Lanez is pulling strings. He's trying to, degrade and deface, Megan's name allegedly. I don't know if he's actually pulling strings. If he has anything to do with it, or he don't give a goddamn what happens to Megan and Thee Stallion. It just struck into my stupid brain. My little brain just said, you know what, the Tory, because Megan was flying high. She was like, Tory Lanez going to jail for a decade. She's continuing on with her work. She's, like I said, she's in the Planet Fitness commercials amongst other deals that she has, other endorsement deals. That's just the one that comes to mind. I'm sure she has other ones, but that's the nature of this beast called entertainment. If you're nobody till somebody sues you. Like, that's the facts. You're not a real celebrity. You're not a real, person of great acclaim until you're sued. I can name so many people that have been sued over the past 20 years and 30 years, even 50, 40, 50, 60 years, have been sued, for whatever reason. It's just a lawsuit. Lawsuit is just like a warning sign. It's like, it could go your way, it could go the other way, but it's like it jumps up and says, "Hey, wait a minute, something could have happened here. Let's look at this a little further." So I think that Megan's gonna pull through. I don't think she has any worries. This Garcia guy seems real unstable. I'm bipolar, so I can kind of know he's off his in a very unbalanced emotional state. I'm not a doctor, but it just seems that way. It just seems like he just came out of this with this. He must have been gearing this up for weeks. Obviously, if he had so many things in order for him to say against Megan. It would just seem to me that he is someone that doesn't really have the wherewithal. Obviously, he's like, he's not even David and Goliath. It's like more like a grasshopper and a weed whacker. It's like he's gonna get cut down. If he doesn't play his cards correctly. And Megan's got the money. Megan's got the power. She's got the glory. She's got all that. And over time, we will see whether these allegations will actually stick, because there's no telling whether they are factual or non-factual. Like I said, if Mark Zuckerberg and the Winklevi and Eduardo Saverin could settle out of court, she's probably going to have to do the same thing. Because if they go to the point where she was committing a sexual act in a vehicle, and this young man, no matter what his his background or his orientation or his preference, it just would not bode well. It would not go over well in the minds of the jury. They would look at her cross, like, I don't know, that's kind of weird. It's kind of, I didn't know you were bisexual. I didn't know that. They would look at her cross. So that is really the going notion about all of this. And that's just the one part of the suit. The suit also alleged that she had a toxic work environment. Now, who hasn't had a toxic work environment or alleged one? Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Fallon. Hold on, let me make sure. I got his name. James Corden, he was on top of his game, then he fell off. I mean, people have toxic environments because they're driven people. Not to say I'm caping for them. I'm just saying that people that are in toxic environments, like they say, you have to have an iron fist and a velvet glove. That's the best way to do. But that's like despotism and authoritarianism and all that. Like, that's the idea of that. You should be a welcoming individual and have, class and dignity for those subordinates under you. And everybody should be able to participate in an environment that's conducive to growing, to learning, to understanding, to producing, to making more greatness. That's the whole idea. That's the whole sensibility. That's what it's all about. This whole thing is all about making money, of course. But how do you make the money? You make money by treating your employees well. You don't disparage them. You don't cuss at them. You don't yell at them. They're alleging that she said a lot of things like you shouldn't be eating and fat bitch. You don't need to be eating. Stop. Spit your food out. That's all alleged. What Megan said. All that is alleged. And that's the creepy, sad part about all of this. That's the really sad, creepy part. Because Garcia went to NBC News. See, that's an indicator. That's an indicator that he went straight to NBC News. Why didn't he go to all the news outlets? Why didn't he just go to NBC News? He said, to hear someone who advocates about loving your body tell me these things felt degrading. That's what Garcia said, and they said in the lawsuit. And that his compensation arrangement underwent a notable alteration. It's messy, child. As the great Mr. Troy Star Terrain says, I have to give him his credit. Yeah, so I'm back. I'm back on my hip hop bullshit. This is hip hop bullshit. I was doing sports for a little while. I'll probably go back to sports. Watching the Knicks and the Sixers go at it. I was watching a little bit of the Bucks and Pacers game. The Pacers got them. They ate their food. I think I saw a little bit of the Suns and Minnesota. I think it was Suns and Timberwolves. But I'll be catching back up a little later. But yeah. So Megan. It's like these allegations are just bizarre. It's completely bizarre. They're just, you have in the back seat in an SUV with a chick. I don't have a problem with it. I would have just sat there, looking at my camera, making sure I had the right footage, make sure I had the right angles. She would have been, with her, chick, allegedly. This is all alleged. This is not factual. I'm just giving you, in a scenario. But what he could have done in the alleged case is just look at his footage. Make sure he, had the right lighting, can adjust that. I'm sure with these, brand new cameras, these, if he had a digital camera, he can make adjustments and tweak the different details of the photos. It's a goofy thing. It's so goofy. You're nobody till somebody sues you. That's when you know you've made it. That's when you know you've made it in Hollywood and music business and in the industry. That's when you know you finally hit the right stride and you hit the right path. That's how you know. So when it comes to various ideas set for a person of Megan Thee Stallion's stature, her amazing body of work, just a few, I don't even know how many, let me see, she has like a few albums. She don't have that many albums, but she has great singles. Let me see how many studio albums. She has released 2 studio albums, 1 compilation album, and 3 mixtapes. 3 extended plays, 39 singles, including 12 as a featured artist, and 2 promotional singles. So she's put in the work. She's done the goddamn thing. She's made platinum records multiple times over. So I mean that's just again, this could be envy. This could be envy. This could be hatred of the good for being the good. She's successful. She's easy on the eyes. She's not. She's a chocolate woman. She's good looking. Um, I would say that she has a lot of things going for her. Looks wise, talent wise, all that combined, and she gets hate. She gets hatred because she's successful. If she had sold, you know, less than if all her singles is going triple wood, and nothing, quadruple aluminum, she would have been. I mean, like, who cares? No one cares. Oh, but she's a big star. She just beat. Well, she didn't. She was a victim in a major criminal assault case involving a firearm. Ooh, oh my! What is that about? Let me see if I can get some coins out of that. He had his baby hands rubbing together. He said, "Wait a minute! I can probably get some ducats from this. I can get some money from this. Get this going. And Playboy." But seriously, I think Megan Thee Stallion is one of the best to ever come out of the womb of hip hop. She knows what she's doing. She uses her body. She uses her mind. She seems like a free woman. She doesn't seem inhibited by any strictures that would derail her or her career. So I mean, Mr. Garcia, I'm only giving him enough respect to say alleged. I'm only saying alleged because I don't know if any of what he's saying is actual factual. If it's actual factual, okay, I'll go along with it. He's got a point. He's got a case. But if it's not actual factual, get out of here. You're out of here. Why would you even come up with all that? Because she's saying all this is somebody lying. That's what it comes down to. Either Megan lying or Emilio's lying. Somebody lying. That's just the facts. That's why you go to trial or you do what Diddy did with Cassie, break off 30 million. Emilio Garcia ain't getting 30 million. That's for freaking sure. That's for sure. He ain't getting no 30 million. He might get 30,000, and they might call it a day, or like 300,000 at the most. I don't think she's gonna go any farther than that. He won't see more than 500,000 or 500,000. I can pretty much guarantee that. But I think the idealism behind the truth, the reality that we have to discover, that we have to look at, is cause for concern. It's a cause for liberty for any of us. That anyone at any time can accuse you of something that you did not do. That is something that is very serious. That is very serious. That goes at your character. That goes at your mind state. That goes at your mental health. All of that. And the hiss rapper, as they say, Megan Thee Stallion, it just seems like trouble is just like following her. Like, what can she do? What can she not do? What can she do to secure her own life, to secure her own sense of being, her own sense of knowledge, her own sense of knowing what to do in every situation, and all that has to encompass that, all that has to go into that. What does that mean for her? That this male, Emilio Garcia, has all these allegations against her. A whole litany, a whole list, a whole laundry list of different things that occurred or did not occur. Why would he even bring it up? Is he telling the truth? I don't know. It's all alleged. It's not been founded. None of these claims are founded. They're not real unless they've been proven to be proven to be truthful. Nick and Megan Thee Stallion is innocent until proven guilty. I mean, it's not a criminal case. It's a civil suit, but you know what I mean. It's what do you say? Do you say you don't say guilty? You say I don't know the proper words for a civil suit is liable. That's what I think is the proper word. You're liable or not. And I don't know if Megan Thee Stallion is liable. It seems like he was making up, a sex fantasy and didn't want to admit to it. I don't know. It seems that way. It appears that way. It's alleged. I don't know. So she is definitely, taking a real detour in her career. Probably not by her own fault. I mean, I guess she didn't do this. All these different things. This laundry list of abuses and things of that nature, a toxic work environment, all this corny stuff that's going on. Like, that is just so corny. That's so whack. When people say, "Oh, it was a toxic work environment. I couldn't take it. It was just too much." Well, you signed up for it, did you not? And I got 3 people in here. I need those likes. Give me at least 2 more likes. I had 3 people. It's now 2 people. Give me 1 more like so I can get 2 likes. Yeah, so Megan Thee Stallion definitely has a case against her, but she can arise above it. Now there's 3. Now you can hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Boop, boop, boop. Right there. Boop. Hit that like button. She is a budding goddess. She's a budding goddess. She's not quite the goddess yet. She needs a few more albums, a few more tours. Then she can be crowned a goddess. But she's definitely a great female, a great rapper. I like her style. I like her sassiness. I like her femininity. That's what I like about her. Thank you for that like. I appreciate it. Thank you for the like. I just like that about her. She has that, quality, that feminine quality about her. She moves in a manner of a businesswoman. That's what I really like about her. She's business minded. It's all about getting that. What was she at? She had Popeyes. She had a sponsorship and an advertising campaign with Popeyes. The Hotties hot sauce or something crazy. I'm telling you, she can work, the commercials and the ads. She knows how to do it. Same thing with Ice Spice. I know she's a different, artist and a totally different story, but she's doing Dunkin' Donuts and goddamn, what's her new commercial? I just saw it. Starry. I think it was. I think that's what it was. Ice Spice, Starry. Yeah, and Starry. So they're both getting a bag. I don't know if they've ever collaborated. My dumb ass doesn't know. Maybe there is a Megan. Let me see, Megan Thee Stallion. Ice Spice. Okay, we got a lot of smoke. Ice Spice had a song called "Think You the Shit," featuring Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion. And they got smoke. That's all smoke. All of that is smoke. Nicki Minaj has beef with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Ice Spice is just a new and upcomer. When did this come out? Let me see. When this came out. This came out in the hell? 2 months ago. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, so okay, we got 4 people in here. I need 4 likes. Make sure you get those likes up. All right. So yeah, I just think that Megan Thee Stallion definitely, if she plays her cards right, she'll just, chip him off with a few $1,000, few $100,000. That's it. Keep it moving. It'll look like a speeding ticket, like Rashida Jones' character says in The Social Network. In the long run, it'll look like a speeding ticket. It wouldn't be a major issue. I don't think he can make this a criminal case. It's all civil, I think. And it's all alleged. It's not like it actually happened and there's evidence and proof. There was more evidence and proof with the shooting of Tory Lanez shooting at Megan Thee Stallion's feet. A lot more evidence there. But there is no hard pause, no diddy, conclusive evidence as to what happened with this Emilio Garcia figure. That is the track. That is the truth. I said the track. That is the truth. That is the fact. That he only has allegations against Megan Thee Stallion. Y'all can see my slips later on. I'm gonna do a super cut of them. But Megan Thee Stallion has the ability to be very, forthright and truthful and honest, and let everyone know exactly what happened. I would love to see it from. This is my thing. I love to see it from the horse's mouth. I mean, Tupac Shakur was the last one I heard, but I guess that was ineffectual because he still went to prison. He was in the penitentiary. He was very outspoken. He was talking straight to the cameras and the journalists and everybody like that, and all the photojournalists, the video journalists, all of them, the recorders in his face and their cameras and everything. And he was like, "See, I'm a black man." I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, "I'm a black man in America, and this is what happens. This is what goes down." Like he was telling like it is, but didn't keep him from going to the penitentiary. And what's sad is the fact that Meg Thee Stallion has not been able to speak, and that's a good thing, I think, because they do that on purpose. Because like Tupac, like it didn't really have any bearing on the trial. She hasn't said a word. She hasn't said anything. She isn't. Her lawyer, Alex Spiro, said something. He said, everything is. Of course, the lawyer is going to say everything is false. Everything is not true. And I didn't know she was that young. She looks kind of older. Not to diss her or anything, but just telling the truth. She looks like she's in her 30s, but she's about to be 30. She's 29 right now. He felt fat shamed, and she failed allegedly to pay him properly in violation of numerous labor codes. According to a press release and documents shown by People, her attorney denies the allegations. He called everybody neighbors. Alex Spiro, the lawyer, the attorney. This is an employment claim for money with no sexual harassment claim filed and salacious accusations to attempt to embarrass her, said Spiro. Emilio Garcia said he's been dealing with a range of mental health problems after Megan allegedly forced him to have sex with a woman in Ibiza. That just seems so bizarre. I just like look at us. Look at us. You're gonna look at us. She would probably say, take some pictures while you're at it. Like, really? Like, that would have been evidence, right? If he had his camera on him, that'd have been the truth. But apparently that wasn't the case. All right, so I'm gonna try to switch gears as much as I can. I had a second topic I wanted to just discuss real quick. This is kind of serious. I wanted to lead in with the dessert and then have the main meal afterwards, because that's where I get more likes and more subscriptions and more comments and stuff like that. These protests at these schools are bullshit. They are so full of shit. I mean, it's sad. And it's like, I'm not against Israel, but even the Israeli protests are, not, truthful. Because they're blocking private property. They're shouting all these different names and different things into the air. They're disrupting traffic. They're polluting the air with noise, doing all these things. And it's like, the irony, the weird thing is, the goofy thing is, what happened to all the climate change rhetoric? What happened to all that? What happened to those protests for the climate change? What happened to the protests for the Iraq war and Syria and ISIS and everything like that? Where are those protests? It's all about Israel and Hamas, which is a government. Like, we have to look at that as a government. We have to view them as a government, because they were elected. The Hamas was elected. They have the entire structure is terroristic. It's the entire structure is abysmal, vicious, backwards, and detrimental to human progress and flourishing. So we have to look at them like Nazi Germany. We have to look at them like the imperialists in Japan. You have to look at them just like that. They have to have the same kind of feel. And fascist Italy, we have to look at them as a small country, because that's what they are. They were nominated in 2000. I think it was, they were elected in 2005. I think it was during George Bush's reign, during the time where we were deeply mired into the Iraq War. And Afghanistan war was going on too, but we weren't talking about it that much. It was all about Iraq. It was like, those were the protests on campuses. Hey, hey, ho, ho. George Bush has got to go. Hey, hey. Like, that's just the reality. And they don't have that same idealism, because it's all about Israel and Hamas and Palestine. It's like Palestinians, it's like the war is against Palestinians and Hamas, because it's like the government and the people. If I understand it correctly, please correct me. Get your X fingers together. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I think that this whole setup is all bullshit. It's completely sad. It's a travesty. It's a tragedy. It's nasty. It just takes away the ideals of the idea of free speech in the right to assembly. Right to assembly on private property is what it is. You have you have every right to be on your own property and spout hatred, vitriol to Israel all you want, but you go on somebody else's property and do that. That's an offense. That's offensive. That's evil. That's wrong. So we have to look at that as a condition for these students and some professors, and just rabble-rousers, people that aren't even going to school, that just want to be involved in stuff. And they're so it's not ironic or sarcastic. It's just so, well, it is kind of ironic that they're holding up all these. I said this before in a previous post, but they're holding up signs. They're wearing shoes and clothes that are made by multi-billion-dollar companies that are for Israel, that are for the freedom of the press, freedom of faith, and freedom of all that stuff. And they're trouncing people, because of the fact of their views and their beliefs. That's the sad part. That's the ironic and sick and twisted part. to all of this is the fact that they don't realize that they're, supporting all these different corporations. It's like Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Street was a complete joke and a terrible, a terrible joke. It was a nasty joke. People didn't even know really what they were going for. The great Alex Epstein, he was going through the crowd asking questions, of the various people during Occupy Wall Street 11 and 12 years ago, and he was just like, okay, so what about the different pieces of evidence that go against what you're saying? And they didn't have a clue what to say. They were like, oh well, we got to take down Wall Street, we got to take down big business, we got to take down the people that are stealing this country away from the poor and the middle class and stuff. It's the same bourgeoisie, bullshit against the bourgeoisie, or whatever like that is. And there should be against the bourgeoisie because the bourgeoisie didn't earn it. They just stole it. And that's what people get confused about. They think that anybody that's a billionaire or millionaire are bourgeoisie. When they probably started out in their parents' basement or in the garage somewhere and turned their nights of hell and struggle and trying to get the right code down and everything like that, or their dorm room, and they just couldn't get it all together, and they finally figured it out, and they turned into a multi-billion-dollar and multi-trillion-dollar companies. That's beautiful. That's the American dream. That is part of the American dream. You work smart. You do what you can do. You show yourself approved. Then you branch out and you do great things, and you achieve. These people don't want to achieve. They want to destroy. It's more hatred of the good for being good. It's more hate. It's more of the age of envy at a deeper sense. They hate the fact that Israel is an oasis and around a desert of mostly dictatorships and despotic and authoritarian regimes. Israel's not perfect, but it's damn near close, like America. America's not perfect, but it's damn near close. It's the closest you can get. And that's what's sad about all this. It's the fact that, so many people don't realize the fact that Israel is, supportive of Islam, it's supportive of Christianity, it's supportive of many people. It doesn't have the best, track record for military. They still have conscription or the draft. I don't know if they have a draft, but just like you have to go to the military. Like, I don't even know if it's a draft. I think it's just, a force, forced to be in the military, conscription. So I think that it's very sad to see all these people on all these campuses in Columbia and different other schools chanting and shouting and saying all these things. They don't really know what they're saying. They don't even know what they're shouting. They just want to be a part of the crowd. They want to be part of the scene. Maybe get on camera. Maybe get in the microphone. Get an interview. That's the sad state of affairs in which we live. That's the sad state of understanding that we have. And it's really disgusting to see, these especially the pro Palestine, pro Hamas, protesters, or if you can call them that. I would say rabble rousers. It's sad to see them because they are representative of the student body, even if they aren't students. They're representatives of their colleges and their universities, which are the real wellspring. We want to talk. They are the fountainhead. Maybe that's too much. I'll say the wellspring, because I want to use fountainhead in a positive light. But I'll say the wellspring, even though it means the same thing. But just the connotation. Wellspring of vicious attacks against Israel and America. That's where people get their ideas. The staff of Harvard, most of the teachers, most of the professors, They teach hatred and disparagement against Israel. They teach disgusting notions against the status of a state that is really pro reason, pro business, pro entrepreneurship. There's a few Jewish, or not Jew, Israeli, I should say, Israeli companies that I used to have. I used to have Waze. Waze is a great company if you want to drive. I don't drive anymore, but when I did drive, I used Waze to get me around because they had police, where police would be, where traffic lights would be, and different things like that. It was a very robust system. Another, one up for Israel. Another site I used to use, it's called Tryon. I'm gonna see if I can look that up. I'm gonna see if I can see if that's even searchable. Their Facebook is still alive. Hasn't been touched since June 24th, 2010. But for a moment there, it was all right. So I'm not making it up. They were a publishing platform. It didn't work out. They had the right idea though. They had the different communities where you can write and publish your work. I made like 66 cents from them, but that's okay. I just have to write better. That's all I always said. I never blamed the site. I never said, "Oh, it's their fault. I should have more money. I should get more money than this." I was like, "No, this is cool. I can deal with this. I earned it. I earned those 66 cents." That was amazing to me. But that was another Israeli company. Name all the Hamas Palestinian companies. I'll wait. Name all the different entrepreneurial business and entrepreneurial stakes in business firms and firms that constitute Palestinian and Hamas. I'll wait. You just put it in the comment section, something. But yeah, so I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. Because that's what I said. Israel absorbs all that. It absorbs Islam. It absorbs Christianity. It absorbs Buddhism, Hinduism, whatever the case may be. What do you think what Palestinian and Hamas will do? Will they absorb Judaism? I think not. Will they absorb Christianity? I think not. That's what people are fighting for. Fighting for despotism and authoritarianism and dictatorships. That's what rules the land around that area. Dictatorships. Sadly enough, people still don't get the big picture. People don't even get the small picture. They're not even looking at it. They know there's a picture there, but they refuse to look at it. That's what we're dealing with. They can see. They're not blind, but they can look. They're not looking at the picture. They're looking away. They're looking askew. Again. So, Israel should be protected. Should have every right to defend itself. That's like the go-to phrase. Should be on Wheel of Fortune. The right to defend itself. And then you get the money, whatever the case may be. But people are saying Hamas and Palestinians should have the right to defend themselves. No, they shouldn't, because all their rights, quote unquote, their right is to be malicious and disgusting and disturbing and harsh and bloody. That's all this is. Just like, because it took me a while to figure it out. But Hamas is really that person. Emperor, free Palestine. Why free Palestine? You just said that. I just said people are rabble rousing at the schools Free Palestine. Free Palestine. For what? Why are we freeing Palestine? What is the reason that we free Palestine? Please tell me. Because I don't see there's a reason to free Palestine. I see a reason to keep Israel free and make it freer. It's not completely free, but it's not Palestine Hamas that, throws gay people off of buildings and stones women and can't allow them to wear certain clothes and certain things like that, when Israel is like America in the Middle East. You can wear whatever hell you want to wear as long as you're covering up your naughty bits. Not naughty bits, but I say it just jokingly. All right, here we go. Here's something. You have to separate the terrorist group Hamas and innocent women and children being killed by the Israeli government. No, you don't, because Hamas is the government. Like I said, like Nazis, like the Nazi Germany, imperialistic Japan. You can't separate them. There's no separatism in that. And sadly there are really, you have to kill innocents. Just like in World War II, when we dropped 2 nuclear bombs, there were aunties, nieces, nephews, cousins, grandpas, grandmas, all incinerated. And we crushed Japan. We crushed Germany, Dresden. Dresden could have been even more people that were killed. Allegedly, certain certain statistics say that Germany had more casualties than both Nagasaki and Hiroshima combined. So we have to make sure we destroy Hamas in Palestine, just to make them know that we are serious and that we can be friends. Like now, with Japan and Germany, we're the best of friends. Look at Germany. We got BMWs, Volkswagens, Mercedes-Benz, just to name a few products from them. We got, Japan's. We got Sony. We got Toyota. We got Honda. We got all these different things. But we're best friends. We're good to go. Everything's fine because we crushed them. We have to crush their will to fight. That's the truth. We have to show them that we will even kill women and children. Because who the hell are women and children? They could be potential persons of killing, just like in Iraq and Afghanistan. Women, have bombs strapped to their bodies and blow themselves up. Oh, we can't shoot them. It's oh, it's a little kid. He's a little child. He's got an AK. 4 years old with an AK-47. That's what I'm talking about. What are the innocent women and children? There are no innocent women and children, technically. Especially in these circumstances. So, like I was saying, Israel should be defended at all costs. It has to be defended at all costs. And what's sad is Israel's probably going to fight the war that America should have fought. What is it going on? Oh my God, what was it? Freaking 43 years? Is that 40? Is that right? 79 plus 43 is 2024. Do I have that right? My math is terrible. No, that's not right. It's 45 years. 79 plus 45. Yeah, 45. Yeah, 45, definitely. 45 years, excuse me. So 45 years, we were held, American personnel, people were held hostage. I have to make it clear, I don't know if it's called prisoner of war or not, but that was an act of war against the United States Embassy, and they introduced, the regime that said, death to America, death to America. That's our fight. That should have been our fight 45 years ago. Is it 44 years ago? Wait a minute, 44. Yeah, 44 is 80, 70. Yeah. 79 is 45. 45 years ago. We should have fought them. We should have fought them 45 years ago. Okay, well, here we go. Sir W. There are people who have left Hamas who say that support they're getting overseas is hilarious and useful. It's Israel first, then the rest of the Western world. I think I know what you're talking about. I hope you're saying you're pro Israeli. Yeah, but Israel, definitely, is just that. It is a freer state. It's not a completely free state, just like America. Oh, it is a free country. No, it's not a free country. We have too many regulations and controls and different things against different laws that bar us from being a completely liberated nation. But same thing goes for Israel. It's not completely intact, but it's the closest. You get the closest. That's all you get the most moral every time. Every time you have to get the most moral country apparent. Whoever's the most moral, that's who you go after. And Israel and America are the most moral countries, and Israel is amongst the most moral countries. America is the most moral country in the world and has been, and is the noblest nation of all time because of its founding documents. Not because of songs, not because of geography or anything like that. Basically, every song that has been attributed to America has something to do with the geographic features, from the mountains to the prairies, and oh beautiful for spacious skies or amber waves of grain. Can't take too much because I'll get a copyright strike. But that's just the fact of it. Those are just the realities of all of this. That's just the reality of all of this, and what constitutes making it normalized, making it true. That's the key that we have to definitely investigate. That's what we have to continue to fight. We're not fighting against Hamas and Palestinians. We're fighting for Israel. There's a difference. There's a big difference between that. Like if we were fighting against Palestine and Israel, that would have been our downfall. That would have been Israeli and American and Allies' downfall. We're fighting for Israel, pro-Israel. That's the thing. That's what we have to do, because they're basically savages and brutes in Hamas and Palestine. We have to consider them a whole entire government instead of just a faction or a fringe of terrorists. They include terrorists, yes, of course. That's what happened on October 7th of last year. But their whole game plan is to disrupt, destroy, and denigrate anything and everything in its way, despite what Israel is doing. And of course, like with the people that were killed, in that those buses, those vans, I can't remember what they're called. Hold on. The Central Kitchen Workers. That's what the World Central Kitchen Workers. Sadly, that's war. That is war. It wasn't done on purpose. You have to say that. You have to say it was an accident. Say it wasn't, intended. But that's war. That's what happens. That's why war is ugly and disgusting and has to be, once it started, it has to be ended quickly. Sadly, America has lost that. Our leaders have lost that whole idea. We get mired down in different conflicts and wars for decades and don't even win. We were mired down in Afghanistan. Did we win? Didn't seem like it. People hanging off the airplanes and stuff like that, and they weren't reassured and say, "Oh, we're good here. We're good. Everything's all right. We don't have." No, they're like, "No, take us with you. Take us with you." They shouldn't have been like, "Take us with you." That's an indicator of how terrible and horrible we handled and mishandled that war. Same thing with Iraq. Iraq was what, 8 years long? Could have been done in a few months. Yeah, we got rid of, we brought the quote unquote democracy to Iraq. They got their purple fingers, We were able to dispose of a despot and Saddam Hussein. That's fine, but did we win the war? Not really. No, not at all, actually. Did we? And a lot of people say, "Oh, we fought for oil. We fought for oil." Do we own any of those oil fields? No. Still nationalized? Yes. So it's just very sad, and you have thousands of young people that will be slaughtered because of the leadership or the misleader. Is there a word called mis? Is there mis? It's questionable. It's not showing me in the dictionary. It's just saying it does. All right, so the lack of leadership in regard to our leaders from Bibi or Benjamin Netanyahu, who is a complete coward, spineless, afraid to be, to take action, says one thing, does another, something worse. Our leader, Biden, hardly can even stand up on his own. He almost has one leg to stand. Can't even make it a succinct and lucid decision. That's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me. Thousands of kids, people that were like me. I'm a Marine. My fellow Marines are going to be embroiled in some kind of war, most likely, in the coming months and years, because we still haven't figured out a way to tell people that, this dictator stuff, this like light rights, defaming and denigrating stuff, it's not cool. To put it very lightly, it's not cool. Like, people still haven't figured that out. Like, oh, really? Oh, there's an alternative. That's the alternative. Israel is an alternative. America is an alternative. Many other countries across the country, across the continent, across the globe, feel that way. Only only in the Southeast Asia. No, excuse me, Southwest Asia. Southwest Asia. Only in that territory is there a contingency of various factions and various countries that are dedicated to ending the lives and the property of free people. It just boggles my mind. Like, how do they say death to America? You're saying death to rights. You're saying death to coolness. You're saying death to living your life. Death to being a person. Death to humanity. But they chant that. And anyone else who chants for Palestine and Hamas are saying death to America and death to Israel. Sadly. And we must crush Palestine and Hamas. They must be crushed completely with a heel, squashing the head and ripping apart the body too. I like how in Japan, General Douglas MacArthur, he wrote up a whole constitution and said, look, you're going to follow this constitution to the letter. You're going to go by it, and we're going to be friends from here on out. And what has happened? Just that. We can appreciate the cherry blossoms that the Japanese gave us in 1912, I think it was, in D.C. I think people were thinking about uprooting them sometime after 1941, December 7th. But they stand there still. They're still there. But I just think that part is amazing to me. That part really just really stirs in my mind, in my soul, my spirit. Not mystically, but my mind especially. The fact that we must crush Hamas, Palestine, all of that, and have a victory for America and Israel. Okay, I'd like to thank Emperor for coming through. I'd like to thank Sir W for coming through. I appreciate you all. I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Take care.